Hey, what's up guys? Sportskool77 here. Coming to you guys with a video today. Yeah guys, today I want to talk about business and cards. Alright, I know I've done these videos a couple times before, but I want to go into a little bit more detail and in depth today. And yeah, so guys, it's every week, or just about every week, I have people ask me, Sportskool, how do you sell your cards? Or what kind of markets do you use? And that kind of stuff. And I want to talk a little to you guys about that today. First off, I want to say that this is not like a market watch video. I like watching those videos and that kind of stuff, and it gets you an idea of what the market's like, who's buying what, and what you should be looking at. But there's plenty of people out there doing those type of videos, and so I'm just gonna let them do those videos, because I'm gonna do something a little bit different for you guys today. And the first thing I want to talk about is kind of some of the different venues, some of the kind of different places that you can buy and sell your stuff. I have people asking me about that all the time. A lot of you guys like Troll and Toad. I will say I sell the Troll and Toad too. But what you got to realize with Troll and Toad is it's going to take like a while for you to get paid on your stuff. Okay, usually I say it takes about 2 weeks. You got to get the stuff sent into them. They have to go through it. It decides the price that they agreed on to start with is what they're going to pay you. And then it takes usually about 3 to 5 business days after they've made that decision that the price is right before you actually get your payment. If you use PayPal or get them to send you a check. So I always get them to PayPal me, so it's just the easiest way for me. But yeah, so I like Troll and Toad. They buy a bunch of stuff. They'll buy bulk stuff and that kind of stuff too. But the first thing I want to talk about is another website I found, and it's coolstuffinc.com. Link down in the description below. Check that out, guys. They do the same thing that Troll and Toad does, and they actually buy more bulk stuff and that kind of stuff, and they also buy singles. And I found that they're a little bit faster, or that usually by the time that they get your stuff and look through it, it's usually only about a day or two before you have your payment made. So yeah, anyway, go guys, check down in the description for that. So yeah, that's the first thing I want to talk about. That is those type of outlets for selling cards. I have people ask me, Sportskool, well, what should we buy? What should we sell? How do we know when it's time to do that? And my number one thing is I always suggest that if you're trying to buy something and you want to make sure that you buy something that's going to hold value, I look at deck cores as a great way to go for that. And what I'm talking about, like older decks that you can pick up the deck cores of for probably pretty cheap, and the decks that Konami loves, and they're going to continue to give them support. And first thing you know, that deck could be competitive again, and you made your money back well over because you have the whole deck. So decks like Heroes. Heroes is not the greatest example as far as getting it cheap, because most of you know that if people that are hero players that have the hero stuff, they for some reason they overprice it and don't want to sell it and that kind of stuff. So that might not be the best example, but it's an example of if you can pick up a hero deck core, or Konami loves that deck, and they're going to continue to every few sets make new stuff to support it and give you a chance to continue to boost it up. So, but I mean there's lots of them. I mean Blackwings, Six Sams, and my personal favorite is always the Lightsworn, or Lightsworn, even when they're not competitive, when they're not topping and everything, and they're still a good deck, and they're still a playable deck. and they can compete with the meta and this kind of stuff. So if you guys can ever pick up light sworn deck cores, or for cheap, it's never a bad idea. You pick up the core and then you throw in a few extra things, and first thing you know, you probably got $100 deck that you might have picked up for 15, 20 bucks. So yeah, that's not a bad one to go for. But any of those older school deck cores, or is that you can see that the Konami is still making cards to support that deck, that's not a bad pickup, and so get those and hold on to them and build them. And man, even if you don't play them, a couple sets down the line, and you've made money on them. So yeah. Next thing, and where should you go to sell? If you're on the other end of the aspect, if you're selling your deck cores or stuff like that, this is a little bit tricky. I find for stuff like deck cores, there's especially, YouTube's a great place to sell them. Also the Facebook groups. With the Facebook groups, what you guys got to realize is it doesn't matter if you're buying or selling. Sorry if you guys can hear the storm in the background. We're getting some weather here in Oklahoma today. But anyway, with the Facebook groups, it doesn't matter if you're buying or selling the cards. Be prepared to, whatever you have that you're selling, and you're going to have idiots on there that they're going to trash your stuff and call it garbage and say that nobody wants that kind of stuff and whatever. You just have to be prepared to deal with those comments and stuff like that, and you can even block those people or ignore their comments or whatever. But the point is the best way to sell your stuff is to get it out there. You can't sell it if somebody doesn't know you have it. It's the you miss 100% of the shots that you never take type of thing. So if you're holding on to cards and you're like, I want to sell these cards, but you're not putting them out to anybody to see them, you're not going to ever sell them. So I would say that Facebook groups are a good aspect for selling your cards, or especially deck cores, which is what I was talking about here. But you're going to have people on there that's talking about how they don't want those, nobody wants those, or whatever. But you have to fin through all that stuff to find the people. Somebody out there wants what you have. I promise you that. There is nothing that you have that there is not somebody somewhere in the world looking for. And when you realize that, you start thinking about your cards being money, even if it's stuff that you're not going to use. And that's when you get in that business mindset of, okay, hey, I'm the seller, I need to find the buyer for this, meet up, not physically meet up, but get together and sell and make the deal happen. And sometimes it's really easy, sometimes it's difficult. And there are a lot of great markets and stuff that you can do. If you're trying to sell your stuff fast, as I suggest, eBay and the Facebook groups, as far as you put them out on the Facebook groups, especially like Zodiac and Duels of the Round Table, all the bigger Yu-Gi-Oh groups. It was on Facebook. Have so many thousands of subscribers, that are so many thousands of people that like them, and that your stuff will get out there to a big audience of people. Again, though, if it's stuff that is not what everybody is looking for, you're going to get hate comments on it. So be prepared for that. So for quick selling, I suggest eBay and Facebook groups, and obviously YouTube. I can't tell you how often I put something on YouTube, just being like, okay, I've got this, guys, as in somebody will come out unexpectedly and be like, okay, I'll buy that from you, and it's just really easy. I also enjoy the TCG Player. I know that some people are not fans of TCG Player. I like it because as you can list big amount of products on there, and it may not be an everyday thing, and sometimes it takes a while to sell your stuff. But me as a seller, I like to be able to know that I have my stuff out there and I can be asleep and selling cards. Alright, there is no better feeling in the world than waking up and realizing that you made money while you were sleeping. And I don't know, guys, comment down below if you don't agree with that. But for me, it's amazing to be able to have my stuff out there online to where anytime, day or night, somebody can find it and buy it. And I don't even have to be involved in it other than the next day, see it, get the stuff together, ship it out, and I made money while I wasn't doing anything. And so I don't know about you guys, but free money while you're not having to work for it is kind of nice. So yeah, there's that. And so for the short term, quick big selling,